What if I told you that the greatest form of freedom is not just found in what you do, but in what you refuse to accept? In a world filled with chaos, manipulation, and endless demands, the Stoics understood that true strength lies in our ability to protect our inner peace, not by reacting to external forces, but by deciding what we allow to affect us. They believe that emotional stability comes from within, and it is in our power to choose what we engage with. In their teachings, we find the wisdom that it's not about controlling the world around us, but about mastering ourselves and not allowing others to dictate our peace. The Stoics taught us that to live with clarity and dignity, we must cultivate an inner fortress, one that is strong enough to resist harmful influences. In this video, we will explore 9 things you should never receive from anyone. Whether it's toxic behavior, disrespect, or unnecessary drama. If you want to maintain your emotional stability and lead a life of true freedom, let's dive in and protect what matters most, your soul. Stoicism is a philosophy of resilience, self-discipline, and understanding what is within our control. One of its core principles is that we have the power to choose how we respond to the external world. Yet, much of our suffering stems from accepting what we should have rejected. Whether it's toxic words, harmful behaviors, or unnecessary burdens, the Stoics remind us that true freedom begins when we say, "No more." Here are 9 things you should never let into your life, and how to stop them in their tracks. Number 1. The unsolicited opinion trap. Unsolicited opinions are often more about the giver than the recipient. They can stem from a person's biases, insecurities, or need to assert control, and they may lack any genuine understanding of your circumstances or goals. When someone offers advice or judgment without being asked, it is usually based on their limited perspective, shaped by their experiences and beliefs, not yours. Accepting such input can lead you to question your decisions unnecessarily, erode your confidence, or even divert you from your authentic path. It is crucial to recognize that not every opinion deserves your attention, especially when it is uninvited. Instead, filter out the noise and focus on trusted advice from those who understand and respect your context and values. In the end, your life is yours to shape, and your choices should align with your purpose, not the unsolicited projections of others. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of relying on our own judgments and inner wisdom as the foundation for a stable and content life. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's greatest thinkers, often likened the mind to a fortress that must remain secure and impervious to external influences. He advised that we guard this inner stronghold by refusing to let unsolicited opinions or negative judgments from others dictate our choices or disturb our tranquility. When we place trust in our reasoning and adhere to our core values, we free ourselves from the chaos of external validation and criticism. This self-reliance not only strengthens our decision-making but also fosters unshakable inner peace, enabling us to navigate life's challenges with clarity and confidence. By focusing inward and prioritizing what truly aligns with our principles, we embody the Stoic ideal of a resilient and harmonious life. Rejecting unsolicited opinions doesn't mean being closed to feedback. Rather, it means discerning which opinions truly align with your values and goals. Choose to listen to those who offer constructive, well-meaning advice and disregard the rest. This way, you protect your mental and emotional well-being from unnecessary stress. Number 2. The dangerous gift of other people's expectations. The second thing you should never accept is the burden of other people's expectations, because doing so erodes your sense of self and autonomy. Society, family, friends, and colleagues often project their standards, beliefs, and ideals onto you, expecting you to conform without question. While their intentions might stem from care or shared cultural norms, Aligning your life with others' expectations can strip you of your individuality. You may find yourself chasing goals or adopting lifestyles that do not resonate with your true desires, leading to feelings of frustration, emptiness, and even resentment. Living for others can also trap you in a cycle of dependency, where your self-worth hinges on external validation. To break free, Stoicism teaches that you must focus on what is within your control, your own values, decisions, and actions, rather than being swayed by external pressures. By prioritizing self-awareness and authenticity, you reclaim your identity and build a life grounded in purpose, not the shifting demands of others. The Stoic principle of living according to nature is a call to align with your authentic self and personal values, steering clear of external influences that may divert you from your true path. This idea, deeply rooted in the teachings of Epictetus, underscores the importance of focusing on what lies within your control, your actions, decisions, and mindset. Epictetus reminds us that our well-being does not depend on the opinions, expectations, or actions of others, but on our own ability to live in harmony with our principles. By resisting the pull of societal pressures or fleeting desires, we cultivate a life of integrity, one where our actions consistently reflect our inner truths. This approach leads to fulfillment because it allows us to live without regret or pretense, grounded in the peace that comes from being unwaveringly ourselves. Rejecting the dangerous gift of other people's expectations involves setting clear boundaries and understanding your own goals and desires. By doing so, you free yourself from the constant pressure to conform and can pursue a life that truly resonates with your inner values. Number 3. The hidden burden of favors with ulterior motives. The third thing to avoid is accepting favors with ulterior motives. While at first, these offers may seem generous or thoughtful, they often come with hidden strings attached. People who extend such favors might be subtly positioning themselves to gain influence over you, or to extract a return on their investment at a later time. This creates an invisible chain of obligation that can erode your independence and cloud your judgment. The Stoics believed in maintaining personal autonomy and being wary of situations that might compromise it. By accepting favors with ulterior motives, you risk entangling yourself in relationships or obligations that could force you to act against your better judgment or values. Recognizing and declining such favors is an act of self-respect and a way to uphold your freedom and integrity. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-sufficiency and maintaining independence as key to living a virtuous and fulfilling life. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, advises us to approach favors with caution, as they often come with hidden expectations or obligations. He suggests that genuine relationships should be grounded in mutual respect and goodwill, free from ulterior motives. Accepting favors indiscriminately can lead to situations where our independence is compromised, potentially making us vulnerable to manipulation or indebtedness. By practicing discernment, we not only safeguard our autonomy but also foster relationships that are authentic and based on shared values, rather than transactional exchanges. This perspective encourages us to value our integrity over short-term gains, reinforcing the Stoic principle of living in harmony with reason and virtue. To protect yourself from the hidden burden of favors with ulterior motives, cultivate relationships that are built on trust and reciprocity. Be mindful of the intentions behind the favors you receive and ensure that they align with your values and principles. Number 4. Constant negativity. The fourth thing you should never accept is constant negativity. Being surrounded by negative people or persistently dwelling in toxic environments can slowly erode your energy and well-being, leaving you emotionally drained and mentally exhausted. Such negativity doesn't just sap your motivation. It creates barriers to personal growth and self-improvement. The Stoics believed in focusing on what is within our control, our thoughts, attitudes, and reactions. This means choosing to cultivate a positive and resilient mindset, no matter what external challenges arise. By reframing your perspective and distancing yourself from persistent negativity, you not only protect your mental health, but also foster an environment where growth, peace, and success become possible. Let go of negativity. It's a weight you are not obligated to carry. Marcus Aurelius, a pillar of Stoic wisdom, teaches that our ability to rise above negativity begins with mastery over our own thoughts and actions. He believed that external events or the behavior of others hold no real power over our inner state unless we permit them to. By redirecting our focus inward and cultivating gratitude, we can transform challenges into opportunities for growth. Positive thinking, grounded in the acknowledgement of the good in our lives, acts as a shield against negativity, allowing us to navigate life's adversities with clarity and resilience. This practice doesn't mean ignoring difficulties, but reframing them to preserve our inner peace. In essence, by controlling our mental responses and fostering gratitude, we equip ourselves with the tools to remain unshaken by negativity, ensuring a life of serenity and purpose. Avoiding constant negativity involves surrounding yourself with positive influences and adopting habits that foster a constructive mindset. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, and seek out relationships that uplift and inspire you. Number 5. The dangerous illusion of external validation. The fifth thing to avoid is the dangerous illusion of external validation, which can trap you in a cycle of seeking approval from others. When we rely on external sources, such as the opinions or recognition of others, to feel good about ourselves, we surrender our power to forces beyond our control. This constant search for validation often leads to insecurity and self-doubt because we can never truly predict or control how others will perceive us. Stoicism teaches us to reject this dependency by focusing on internal sources of validation. By grounding our self-worth in our own values, principles, and actions, we can cultivate a sense of inner strength and confidence. The Stoics believe that true contentment comes from living in accordance with our own ideals, not from chasing fleeting praise or approval from external sources. When we base our worth on what we can control, our character, choices, and virtues, we break free from the chains of others' judgments and build a foundation of lasting self-assurance. Epictetus teaches that we must center our attention on our own judgments and decisions rather than becoming overly influenced by the opinions and judgments of others. He believed that external validation is fleeting and unreliable, while internal validation, rooted in our own beliefs and values, is enduring. By cultivating an understanding that our worth is not determined by how others see us, we can shift our focus to what we can control: our actions, thoughts, and responses. This mindset helps us build genuine self-esteem, as we no longer rely on the approval of others to feel worthy. True confidence comes from the realization that we are the architects of our self-worth, and by consistently making decisions aligned with our own values, we strengthen our sense of self. This Stoic approach enables us to navigate life's challenges with greater resilience, as we become less susceptible to the whims and judgments of the outside world. Rejecting the need for external validation involves practicing self-compassion and self-acceptance. Reflect on your achievements and strengths, and remind yourself that your worth is not determined by others' opinions. This mindset fosters a sense of inner peace and resilience. Number 6. The invisible weight of unfair comparison. The sixth thing you should never accept is the invisible weight of unfair comparison. In a world where social media constantly showcases curated images of success, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring your worth against others. Comparing yourself to someone else, whether in terms of achievements, appearance, or status, can fuel feelings of inadequacy, envy, and a deep sense of discontentment. Stoicism, however, teaches us to reject this mindset by focusing on our own journey. According to Stoic philosophy, the only true measure of progress is your own development, not the achievements or circumstances of others. By redirecting your energy inward, you can cultivate gratitude for what you have and strive for improvement based on your own values and goals. When we release ourselves from the cycle of comparison, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and gain the peace that comes from knowing that our path is unique and valid, independent of external standards. Seneca advises us to find contentment in our own achievements and to avoid the trap of envy by recognizing the value of our unique journey and personal growth. Envy, according to Seneca, is a corrosive force that undermines our peace and satisfaction. When we constantly compare ourselves to others and measure our worth by their successes, we risk losing sight of our own progress and the genuine satisfaction that comes from our personal journey. By focusing on our own path, acknowledging the effort and wisdom we have invested, and celebrating our individual progress, we can cultivate a deep sense of fulfillment. This self-acceptance allows us to appreciate our unique strengths and contributions, reinforcing our self-worth and shielding us from the destructive grip of envy. It is through this mindful acknowledgement of our journey and achievements that we maintain genuine contentment and resilience in the face of comparison and external judgments. To avoid the invisible weight of unfair comparison, practice gratitude for your own accomplishments and strengths. Recognize that everyone has their own path and challenges, and that comparing yourself to others is neither fair nor productive. Number 7. The prison of unsolicited advice. The seventh thing to avoid is the prison of unsolicited advice. Just like unsolicited opinions, unsolicited advice can often feel intrusive and disempowering. While people may have good intentions, offering advice without being asked can undermine your confidence in your own judgment and decisions. In Stoicism, self-reliance is key. The Stoics believe that true wisdom comes from within and that we should trust our ability to navigate challenges based on our values and experiences. By seeking guidance only when necessary and from trusted sources, we preserve our autonomy and avoid becoming reliant on the opinions of others. The Stoic approach encourages us to reflect, make decisions with clarity, and take ownership of the path we choose, free from the noise of unsolicited advice. Marcus Aurelius emphasizes the importance of relying on our own wisdom rather than constantly seeking external advice. In his Meditations, he reminds us that true clarity comes from within and that we must trust our own judgment to navigate life. He warns against being overly influenced by the opinions of others, as not all advice aligns with our personal values or goals. By filtering out unnecessary advice and carefully considering what resonates with our principles, we can make decisions that lead to a life of purpose and integrity. This approach allows us to cultivate independence of thought and avoid distractions that may steer us off course. Ultimately, by honing our discernment and relying on our own inner guidance, we empower ourselves to live authentically, remaining true to the path we've chosen. Avoiding the prison of unsolicited advice involves setting boundaries and being confident in your own decision-making abilities. Seek advice from trusted sources when necessary, but ultimately trust your own instincts and knowledge. Number 8. The mirage of quick fixes. The eighth thing you should never accept is the mirage of quick fixes. In today's world, where instant gratification is constantly available through technology, fast solutions, and shortcuts, the allure of quick fixes is undeniable. Whether it's a rapid solution to personal problems, a shortcut to success, or an easy way to avoid discomfort. These quick fixes promise fast relief but rarely lead to lasting satisfaction or growth. Stoicism, however, offers a stark contrast to this mindset by emphasizing the value of patience, discipline, and perseverance. It teaches us that true progress comes from consistent effort and long-term commitment, not from taking the easy route. The Stoics understood that life's most rewarding achievements, whether in personal development, relationships, or careers, require time and steady effort. By rejecting the allure of quick fixes, we cultivate resilience, focus, and the wisdom to embrace the journey, understanding that meaningful change unfolds gradually and steadily. Epictetus teaches that true growth and success are not the result of sudden, fleeting efforts or shortcuts, but rather from consistent and deliberate action over time. He emphasizes the importance of dedication to long-term goals, urging us to focus on cultivating virtues and wisdom, rather than seeking immediate gratification or quick fixes. By remaining steadfast in our efforts and resisting the temptation to take the easy path, we align ourselves with a deeper sense of purpose and integrity. This dedication fosters not only external achievements but also inner peace and fulfillment, as the process itself becomes as rewarding as the outcome. Ultimately, Epictetus reminds us that success rooted in patience and discipline is the only kind that can lead to lasting happiness and personal growth. Rejecting the mirage of quick fixes involves setting realistic goals and being patient with your progress. Embrace the journey and understand that meaningful achievements take time and effort. Number 9. The guilt that does not belong to us. The ninth thing to avoid is accepting guilt that does not belong to us. Often, we carry the weight of guilt for situations we have no control over, or for the actions of others that we couldn't prevent. This misplaced guilt can stem from societal pressures, family expectations, or even our own desire to please others. Stoicism, however, teaches us to focus only on what is within our control, our own thoughts, actions, and responses. When we accept guilt that is not ours to bear, we give away our power and allow external factors to disrupt our inner peace. The Stoics remind us that responsibility lies only in our actions, and that we must let go of guilt for things that fall outside of that realm. By doing so, we free ourselves from unnecessary emotional burden, allowing us to live with greater clarity and resilience. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, emphasizes the importance of distinguishing between what is within our control and what is not. This distinction is fundamental in the Stoic worldview, as it helps us free ourselves from the burden of unnecessary guilt and anxiety. Often, we find ourselves stressing over situations beyond our influence, such as the actions of others or external events. However, Seneca teaches that we are only responsible for our own thoughts, actions, and responses. By internalizing this principle, we can release the weight of guilt for things outside our control and redirect our energy toward personal growth and well-being. This shift in perspective enables us to focus on cultivating virtues like wisdom, courage, and self-discipline, which are the true sources of peace and fulfillment. Ultimately, Seneca's advice encourages us to embrace a mindset of acceptance, empowering us to live more freely and effectively, unshackled by the uncontrollable. Avoiding unwarranted guilt involves practicing self-forgiveness and understanding the limits of our responsibility. Take ownership of your actions, but do not carry the burden of guilt for things beyond your control. In conclusion, Stoicism offers valuable lessons on what we should never accept from anyone. By protecting our souls and minds from unwanted influences, we can live a life of autonomy and peace. By practicing the teachings of Stoicism, we discover the strength to maintain inner peace, build relationships founded on mutual respect, and live a meaningful life true to our values. As a result, we face life with resilience, a strong heart, and a serene spirit, unburdened by external factors or negative emotions. Embrace these 9 Stoic lessons and cultivate a life of wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice.